Hey, what's up, what's up? I hope you're having a good day today, and if not, hopefully this video can make your day a little bit better. So I'm going to jump straight into it. And when I got cancer, I heard that quite a lot of women, they get cancer, they most likely lose their hair from chemotherapy, they get a wig and they get some makeup lessons, and then I hear that they still don't wear their wig because they feel insecure, and they still don't do their makeup because they find it intimidating. And I know my way around makeup, so I felt like I gotta do something. I gotta help the people that feel like they need it. So this video was born. I was one of those women as well. I got a wig by a professional wig company that specializes in people with cancer, and I was very, very unhappy with it, and I did not want to wear it. This is very much not the wig. Love this wig a lot. This one is from Webster Wigs. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the description down below. This one is very pretty, the other one was not. But I do know my way around makeup, so I wanted to create this video as a little bit of a guide so I can help you through the basics of basic makeup, and so you can feel confident whenever you pick up your makeup brushes, whenever you pick up your makeup products, and feel like you know what to do, and that you just can feel a little bit prettier, or at least a little bit more like yourself again. And I think that that is just very, very important during this process. If you have cancer, or if you've lost your hair because of any other type of disease, your appearance, it does so much to you, and I think it's so important that you can feel happy, healthy, and like yourself again. I am by no means an expert. I just play a lot around with makeup, but I'm not a professional makeup artist. I could do a video about skincare and wigs as well if you want to, so let me know if you do. But this video is mostly going to be focused around makeup and the basics of makeup. So yeah, without any further ado, if you like this video, you can give it a likey. If you want to see more videos of me, you can subscribe, blah blah blah. So I'm not gonna make it too long. Let's just jump straight into the makeup tutorial. Hello. Please don't be afraid. I'm gonna come out now, and I'm gonna look a little bald. Hello. Alright, so this is me in my full cancerous glory, all bald, no eyebrows. At least they're trying, but it's hard on them. So I'm not really used to looking at myself like this, so I guess I'm just gonna put on my beanie and we're gonna go and jump straight into the makeup tutorial, because I would like to have my eyebrows back. Okay, so in this video we're mostly gonna focus around the brows and the base, aka your skin, because I feel like these two things are the most important when it comes to doing your makeup when you have cancer. And I mean, it's not gonna be a full 30-step cream contouring Kardashian tutorial. We're just gonna skip over that, and we're gonna do it as simple as possible. Okay, so starting with these guys over here. For eyebrows, I've got 3 different types of products here. We've got eyebrow powder, which I'm gonna go through first. Then we've got an eyebrow pencil, and then we have a dip brow or brow pomade. So starting off with the brow powder, this is the Eyebrow Stylist Sets by Essence Cosmetics. Essence is a very affordable drugstore brand, so that is good. And this little packaging, let me just take it out, contains 2 different shades of eyebrow powder, a little brush, and some stencils, which I never use. This is basically the product itself that you get. What I like about eyebrow powder is that it is very easy to work with, it is very beginners friendly, and it always looks really soft and natural on the skin, so you've got soft, natural looking eyebrows without them looking too harsh or too Sharpie like. So this is a very good product for a beginner to begin with. The only downside to this is that if you, like me right now, if you don't have a lot of eyebrow hair going on anymore, the powder has a bit of a problem with sticking to your skin. Obviously, if you take a bit of powder and you rub it on your skin, it'll rub off very, very easily because the powder has nothing to stick to. So if you feel like you really do want to use a powder, I would suggest using a bit of face cream underneath it, a bit of makeup primer, just something to get your skin a bit more hydrated, a bit more moist. I know people hate the word moist, but I gotta say it. Something to make your skin hydrated, and something to give the powder something to stick to, so it'll stay on your face all day and you will not have to worry about your eyebrows flying off halfway through the day, because that's looking a bit a bit weird. How to apply this? This one comes with a tiny little angle brush. I would definitely suggest using an angled brush like this. This is the easiest to apply it with. You just dip it in the powder and you just use the angled brush to create tiny little strokes of eyebrow hair on your eyebrows. Let me see if I can show you on my hand. So I've got the brush loaded up with a bit of product, and then I'm just gonna create tiny little hair strokes. Let me get up closer for you. So as you can see, it's looking really soft and natural, not really defined. And this will give your brow a really great natural finish. Next up is an eyebrow pencil. This is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is one of my favorite products ever. This is such a good freaking eyebrow product. I love it so much. And I'm gonna cry when it's empty because it is a bit expensive. So this is a pretty special eyebrow pencil. It's got a pencil on one side, which is just where you do your base work with. And then it's got they call it an ink stain, but it's basically like an eyeliner for your eyebrows. So it's got an eyebrow color which matches with the pencil. So pencils are personally my favorite way to do your eyebrows because it's quick, it's easy, you've got the product in hand, so you don't need a special brush or something to apply it with. The only downside to pencils is that you run through them pretty quickly and then you have to go out and buy another, and then you just throw away so much plastic that it's just kind of... So yeah, like I said, you've got the pencil on one side, so you just get a bit of the pencil out, and then once again you can just create, if I can do this right. This is the powder, which is looking a bit more soft, and then this is the pencil, which is looking a bit more defined. And then you can see up here is the ink stain part, which as you can see has a lot more pigment to it, so it's looking a bit more defined, a bit darker, a bit more harsh, but it can look really great in combination with the pencil. Third option is a dip brow, or a brow pomade as you call it. This product is a little more bougie. No, I paid 30 euros for this. I think it's very expensive. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is a more high-end brand. But then again, their products are really good quality and this stuff lasts you forever. I think about this last year for the summer when I wanted my eyebrows to look on fleek while swimming. And this is what I have left in the pot, which is basically, it's basically still full. So I guess 30 euros well spent. Now I would say that this product of all the three is the trickiest to work with. This will take a bit of practice, a bit of time, because the brow pomade is very creamy, very pigmented. So what can happen is that if you are unused to using this product, if you're inexperienced, is that you will most likely dip in your brush with quite a bit of pressure and then put it on your face with quite a bit of pressure, which most likely results in very thick, dark, sharpy looking eyebrows, which can look very unnatural and a bit funny. So this one does take a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but once you get it right, it can look very pretty, very natural, and these also stay on the longest on your face. These last very long. You can go swimming with this, you can take a shower with this, it will most likely stay on your face. So usually what I do is that I put this on in the morning, I remove all of my makeup at night and then go to bed with my eyebrows still on, and then usually the next day they are still quite 100% on my face. I'm just very lazy. I do wash my eyebrows every so and so days so that it's still hygienic, but you know, if you're a little lazy like me, or you just don't like waking up to a face like this, you can just put on a bit of brow pomade and then go to bed with it and then reapply a tiny bit of it in the morning again, so they look great. So this is the product that I'm going to be using today, because this is, like I said, one that lasts the longest, and I just don't want to do my brows again tomorrow morning, so yeah. This is just in comparison to the other products. These top ones are the dip brow, and as you can see, you can make them look really defined, but you can feather them out as well if you like, so it looks more natural and it looks more soft. Okie dokie! So basically what it comes down to when applying your brows, if you use powder, if you use a pencil, if you use a brow pomade, it all boils down to the same application and techniques. So even though I'm going to be using a dip brow today, if you want to use a powder, it basically comes down to the same thing. So you can still follow along and we can create a pretty eyebrow on our face. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I dipped my little brush in my brow pomade, and I'm going to start at the beginning and then draw the bottom line of my eyebrow first. And then I'm going to take it all the way through to the tail of the brow. If you've ever felt like you did not like your brows or you did not like the placement of your brows, now is the time to experiment. I mean, I've drawn my eyebrows in all types of different shapes, sizes and forms just because I can right now. Then I'm gonna draw the top line. So we're gonna do the outlines of the brow first. Connect the ends. Now a little tip is that if you want a sharp tail of your brow is to end the line at the top a little bit earlier in than you want at the bottom, if that makes sense. So if the line at the end stops here, you want to stop the line at the top a little bit, like more like here. So it feathers out into a nice sharp line. Okay, so I did the outline of my right eyebrow first. It's looking cute, I think. And then we're going to do the outline of my left eyebrow. So I'm sure that they are both symmetrical before I start filling them in. Okay, I think these are looking quite alright. Are they perfectly symmetrical? No. Do they have to be perfectly symmetrical? No. You've probably heard the saying somewhere someday that eyebrows are sisters, not twins. They were probably not looking really perfectly symmetrical in the first place, so don't stress it, as long as they look kind of related. So now I'm just going to take a little bit more of my dip brow on my brush and I'm going to start filling them in. And for that I'm going to start at the bottom line again and I'm going to make tiny little flicks upwards, just like your eyebrow hairs would grow. They are smaller, shorter hairs and they would grow upwards from the bottom up. I think the most important thing is just to follow along with the way that your natural hairs would grow. So as you go towards the tail of your brow, they would go a bit more sidewards instead of upwards. So now that the eyebrow is filled in, as you can see, I've got a bit of a gap at the start of my eyebrow. To create the most natural looking brow, we're going to focus on the inner part and really use a lighter hand. This is also the place where your eyebrow hairs would most probably grow straight upwards. So we're going to try and recreate that by taking our brush and then creating lines going. I'm feeling like myself again. You can finally see what type of emotions I'm feeling right now, and I can finally do this again. That makes me very happy. This is, by the way, my day-to-day look. I don't wear makeup every day. I just usually quickly do my brows, do my skincare, do my sunscreen, the whole shebang-a-lang, and that is it. So that is a great solution for you too if you feel like, you know, you want to look a little normal but you don't want to do a full face of makeup. Just doing your brows will do the trick. Alright. So next up is the base, which is your skin, and I'm gonna divide this into let me see, concealer, foundation, blush, bronzer. Yes. Are all of these necessary? No. But I'm gonna explain them to you anyway. I'm gonna go through this in the order that I would do this. Does this mean that you have to do this in this exact order? No, it does not. Like I said, once again, this is just a little bit of a guide to guide you through the process, but do the steps that you like, that you feel comfortable with and that you think are necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with concealer. This is the NYX Got You Covered Total Coverage Concealer, and I'm gonna start by putting this underneath my eyes because these bags are pretty blue. So if you're one of those people who is not used to wearing foundation every day, you don't have to, but usually what happens with cancer is that obviously you get sick from the chemotherapy, you get sick from the radiation therapy, you get sick from being sick all the time, and there's a big chance that you will get dark circles underneath your eyes or you'll get a little bit of redness around the nose. And if you feel like you just want to fix those things, I would say just go in with a bit of concealer, set that with powder, and you're good to go. You do not have to cover your entire face with foundation. Concealer is your best friend. So what is the difference between concealer and foundation? It's basically the same. It's a skin product that supposedly corrects your skin, gives it all the same skin tone, but concealer is usually used for spot treatments. So you use it on the spots that you feel like need a bit of coverage, need a bit of treatment, and foundation is used for all over the face to give your entire face a nice little even look. So as you can see, that covered up my blue circles pretty nicely. So I'm just gonna go and blend the other one out. So if I wanted to, I could set my concealer in place with a bit of powder and I'd be good to go. But I do prefer a full coverage, full even looking face. So I'm going to go in with a foundation, and I'm using the Milani Cosmetics 2-in-1 concealer and foundation. I know it says concealer and foundation, I know I already used concealer, but I just felt like it. So in terms of application, what do you apply your foundation and concealer with? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, I'm using a beauty sponge, but you could also use a brush or just your fingers if you feel like it. Your fingers is very quick and easy. The warmth of your fingers will blend the products into your skin, and you've always got your applicator with you. I mean, assuming that you have 5 fingers on each hand. So why am I using a sponge if I could just use my fingers? First of all, because I like my fingers to be clean. I've got long nails, so I would just poke myself in the eye if I were to apply foundation around my eyes. And I just really like the finish that a beauty sponge gives my makeup. It just looks very natural, it looks nicely blended in, and I don't know, I think it's just very easy to work with. If you are not used to using a beauty sponge, by the way, the trick is that you have to put this on the water. So you turn on the tap, you push this underneath the water, you squeeze a couple of times until it grows, then you squeeze again to squeeze all of the excess water out, and then you just, dry it off with a towel. But the thing is that you have to wet it first so that the sponge, like I said, grows, and then it does not soak up all of your makeup products. If you use a dry sponge, it will soak up all of your foundation, and then you will just waste a lot of product. So now that we're on the topic of foundation, just so you know, not all foundations are the same. The one that I am using is a medium to full coverage, which just means that, like it says, it covers basically everything. It covers your redness, your spots if you have them. But there are also foundations out there that give you a very natural coverage. They are more sheer, so it looks more natural on the skin if you prefer that. There are foundations for oily skin, there are foundations for dry skin. So if you're really unsure as to where to begin when looking for a foundation, I would just suggest to go to your nearest beauty store and ask them for personal advice regarding your skin type, any type of coverage that you want or need. Now, you've heard me say setting my face a couple of times, and by that I mean using a face powder, because whenever you use a face powder, you basically lock in the foundation, which makes sure that it stays on your face or your concealer and it doesn't slide around during the day, or whenever you touch your face it doesn't come off whenever you touch it. So for that I'm using this, be careful, for this I'm using the Makeup Revolution face powder. This has a bit of a tint to it, but you also have translucent powders, and yeah, you also have colored face powders to match your face if you would like that. Setting your face is, by the way, also great if you have a bit older skin, because this also makes sure that your foundation doesn't settle into your fine lines as quickly, so that it stays all nice and pretty on your face throughout the entire day. Okie dokie, so the next steps are blush and bronzer, and let me explain to you why I've included these steps into this whole makeup tutorial, because you might think, oh, that is so very unnecessary, no thank you, I'm just gonna, but wait, let me explain it first, okay? Just give me a second. So in one of the very first places on earth that we know people started experimenting with makeup is China, and I'm not entirely sure, but I believe they used to crush berries or cherries and then use that red pigment on their cheeks and on their lips. Why? Because red pigment on your face makes you look younger and it makes you look healthier. That is where I'm getting at with my blush and bronzer thing, is that whenever you get sick from the chemo, whenever you get sick from having cancer or having your sickness or whatever it is, you will most likely lose color in your face. So your face will start to look a bit more gray and look more ashy. So in order to bring that color back in our face, we're going to use a bit of blush. And in order to warm up the face, I'm going to use a bit of bronzer, but I'll get into that later. Let's just start with the blush. Now, blush can be quite an intimidating product, mostly because whenever we think of blush, we think of something a little like this. But I promise you there's more out there than this. I remember the first time that I experimented with blush, and I picked a very, very red blush. I also put on quite a lot of this blush. And I remember that I arrived at school and then one of my friends was like, oh, your cheeks are all red because you were riding your bicycle so hard. Oh, you must be so tired. And I was like, But the blush palette that I'm going to be using today is this one. This is by NYX. and this is their Sweet Cheeks blush palette. So it's got a variety of shades for a variety of skin tones, and what I like to do is that I most likely turn to the colors that are a bit more peachy. So I stay away from the pinks and reds, and I turn to the ones that are more like this orange one, this bronzy one, or even this plum purpley one, because I feel like peachy or orangey blushes more likely are going to give you a bit of a warmer face. So they warm up your face very nicely, but it doesn't necessarily give you this really red flush look that can look a bit crazy if you apply too much, like I did. Okay, so I'm taking a very big brush. I'm going to dip into a couple of these shades, tap off the excess so you don't have too much powder going on your face. And then what I like to do is that usually people, when they apply blush, start at the apples of their cheeks and go ham basically like this. And they can look really unnatural because there's just too much color focused on one part of your face. So what I like to do is that I actually like to start at the back of my face and then work my way inwards towards the apples of my cheeks. So this gives you more of a flush look, it gives you more of a natural look, and I don't know, I just think it looks a bit better. If you are wondering what I am looking at, I've got a very big mirror behind my camera, so that is what I'm focusing on. Okay, so as you can see, this cheek is a bit more warmed up. My whole face got a bit more dimension going on here because there's more color. And then this one is looking a little ashy, so I'm going to apply a bit of blush on this side as well. So the next step would be bronzer. For that I've got this Fiesta Cheeks palette by Mula Cosmetics, and it has a mirror and it has two highlighters, a blush and a bronzer, and I'm going to use the bronzer out of this palette. So let me explain why I chose to include bronzer in this tutorial, and that is because I've been told from my doctors that I'm not allowed to sit in the sun for too long. Chemotherapy makes your skin very thin and very sensitive to the sun. So I always put on SPF 50, and even then I don't spend longer than maybe 15 minutes in the sun because it just starts to burn, starts to hurt, and it's just not very good for your skin right now. So that results in, if you don't spend a lot of time in the sun, you will most likely become a lot more pale than you used to be. And if you feel like you don't like that look and you want to look at least like you've spent some time in the sun, so you want to fake it, that's where the bronzer is for. It'll warm up your face, it'll make you look like you've been out and about in the sun, and it'll just make you look very healthy. Okay, so I pulled my beanie back a little bit for this. And bronzer is usually applied with a very large brush as well, because you want to cover larger areas of your face. And then usually we focus bronzer around the forehead, sides of your face. You can put it on your chin, you can put a little bit on your nose, just wherever you feel like it, but it's usually focused around the sides of your face. So I'm going to take a very light hand with this. Please don't go overboard with bronzer, it can look muddy very quickly. So it's better to apply a tiny bit and then build it up instead of going all ham at the beginning and having regrets later. So the last two things that I want to cover are fake lashes and lips. Now I wish I could do a very cool in-depth tutorial about applying fake lashes, but I have to admit I've been doing it for years and I still struggle with it a lot, like a lot. Applying fake lashes, if you are just getting into this, because most probably if you've lost your hair because of chemo, you are going to lose your eyelashes as well, and it sucks. And there's not a lot that we can do about it. So you're gonna have to go through the process of applying these babies to your face. If you struggle with this, that is so okay. It is just a tricky thing to do. So I'm going to try my best and guide you through this process. First of all, as you can see, there are very many different types of eyelashes. They go from very big to more natural. So I would obviously suggest to start with a more natural looking type of lashes, because if you walk around with these babies on your face and you're not used to it, first of all, it's very heavy, and then secondly, it can look a bit funny. So I would suggest just start with more natural looking ones, and then if you like and if you want to, you can go and slowly build up to more big fat looking lashes. The ones that I'm going to be applying today are from House of Lashes. These are the Midnight Luxe lashes. These are silk, I believe, which means that they are cruelty free, because there are a lot of mink lashes out there which makes them not cruelty free, and I don't want to go all in depth about that, but I would just suggest to get yourself a pair of cruelty-free eyelashes if you can. Okay, so what do you need to apply fake lashes? First of all, you need a pair of fake lashes, and you will be needing a lash glue. So the one that I would recommend is also from House of Lashes. That is this one. This is the clear one. They also have a black one. A lot of people rave about the duo lash glue. I personally really don't like it. I cannot get my lashes to stick to my eyeballs if I use the duo one, so I personally prefer this one. And I would say that the right lash glue makes about 90% of the difference when it comes to applying fake lashes, so get yourself a good eyelash glue. So the thing is that applying fake lashes is very tricky, because if they look a bit uneven, it can pull your face in all kinds of directions and make it look a bit funny. So say if your one lash is applied a bit higher than this one, you will most likely see the skin poking through as well, and it can look a bit weird. So a little trick to avoid that is put on a bit of black eyeliner first. So if you make a mistake and one is a bit more lifted than the other, it will not be as visible as if you were not to apply eyeliner. Second tip that I have is that if you get a new pair of lashes and you get them fresh outside of the box and they're all new and cutesy looking, it might be smart to see and check if they can actually fit your eye, or if they might be a little bit too big. If they are too big, you can just take a tiny bit of scissors, a tiny pair of scissors, and trim the outside ends of your eyelashes. Always trim the outer edges, never trim the inner corners, because that'll make your lash look funky and a bit weird. So always trim the outer edges, and then double check again and to see if they fit your eyeball, and then you'll be good to go. Now, I wish for the life of me that I could apply my lashes on camera and be all cute and stuff, but I cannot apply these on camera, so I'm so sorry, but I'm going to apply this off camera. Basically what you do is you get your eyelash glue, you apply a tiny strip of the glue on the lash, and if you want to be sure that they stick, do a bit of the inner and the outer corner of your eyelid as well. So you've got the glue on the lash and on your eyelid. Wait a couple of seconds until the glue becomes tacky, and then pop them on. Or try 50 times until it works. That's usually what I do. I've actually managed to get them on. It's a miracle. So if you are like me and you feel like that whenever you apply fake lashes, it looks very heavy at the top, and then because you don't have any bottom lashes anymore, it looks a bit weird at the bottom, because I always feel like that. I always feel like it's a little too much at the top, and then the bottom is just kind of, it needs a little bit of love, you know? So my tip for that is to grab a black pencil liner and to line your waterline and a little bit underneath that, and then smoke it out with a small brush. So it gives the illusion that you have that shadow going on there that you would normally have if you were to apply mascara on your bottom lashes. So I'm going to get a little close and personal with you guys, because I cannot hold my sponge, my pencil and my mirror all at the same time. So I'm going to go close to my actual mirror here, and I'm going to line the waterline, and I put a little bit of pencil underneath as well. I'm going to softly smoke that out, just with a clean brush, go over the pencil. And I feel like that just pulls the eye more together. It looks more like, you know, like a whole. It looks, I don't know, I just think it looks better on me than just the lashes at the top and nothing at the bottom. Alrighty, we are almost done. You've almost made it through the end. Last steps that I want to cover, last step that I want to cover is lips. Is this really necessary? No, it's not. But in case you feel like you just want a little bit extra, or you feel like your lips look a bit bluish or grayish, because mine can be that way sometimes because of chemo, then I've got some last tips for you. And I'm just gonna grab this box of lipsticks that got sent to me in PR a couple of months ago. And if I can open it, this box has all types of beautiful nude liquid lipsticks. And I saw someone wear one of these on Instagram, and that person looked really pretty, so I want to look really pretty too. Now, of course, you can just wear a normal lipstick as we know them, the classic type of lipstick, or you can wear a liquid lipstick like this one, which is, like it says, a liquid, and then it dries down on your lips, turns into a matte, and is most probably also longer wearing than a classic lipstick would be. So if you want to go for a natural type of look, a normal day look, I would suggest to go for a nude lipstick, as we call that, which is a lipstick that sort of matches your lips or the tone of your lips, but just a bit darker or just a bit warmer. And then I would go for a lipstick that, like I said, is a bit warmer, because if you are sick, your lips will turn a bit bluish. So you want to counteract that blue tone with a warm tone, bring the warmth back into your lips and give your lips that healthy looking look. So I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Hey Bellezza by Mula Cosmetics. Okay, I will admit that I'm not sure if this still falls under the category nude, because it's quite in your face, but you get what I mean. It's still not a bright red, it's still not a bright green, blue, yellow, whatever. It's still a natural looking color, and I gotta say, I really like it. So I'm gonna go and quickly throw on my wig, and then I have some last tips and tricks for you, and then we are done. Alrighty, so this is the finished look. This is my full face of makeup while having cancer. That's not really a good title now, is it? But you get what I mean. This is the finished look with the wig on and everything, so my face is completely done. I'm very happy with the way that it looks. I hope this video helped you a bit, and I've got some last couple of tips that I want to share with you. So lastly, if you want your makeup look to last throughout the entire day and you feel like your setting powder hasn't done enough of the job, setting spray. You can get these things from any type of brand. This one is from Urban Decay, and you just basically... Secondly, like I said, we cancer patients have to be careful when we go out in the sun. We burn very quickly, and if you still want to apply sunscreen while wearing makeup, this is your solution. This is the La Roche-Posay. I hope I pronounced that right. This is SPF 50, and it is a sunscreen spray. So you just spray that over your makeup will stay in place, it will still look good, and you are still protected by the sun. I always wear SPF underneath my makeup as well, but SPF officially only lasts 2 hours, so then at the end of the day or during the day I'll just wear this. And then lastly, be hygienic with your makeup. You are very prone to infections and all kinds of scary things right now, so wash your makeup brushes. Do not share your makeup brushes, wash your makeup sponge, and don't share any of your makeup products either. Don't share your mascara, don't share your lipsticks, don't share anything. And like I said, make sure to wash your brushes very often. Make sure to just be as clean as possible. That was it, that was all. That was the whole makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you picked up a couple of things or learned a couple of things from it. And thank you for staying till the end. If you want to, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload sometimes. I'm not sure when the next one is going to be, but yeah, maybe I'll see you there. And yeah, that was it. Have a good day, and like I said, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!